10 seconds.
Welcome to Clever Title Pending, a proud member of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We talk to creatives about creativity and the business behind them. So type in your questions and become part of the conversation. And now, here's your host, Brian K. Morris.
Good evening, everyone. How the heck are you? Welcome to Clever Title Pending for July 6, 2021. Hope you had a great Independence Day weekend here in the States. And we've got somebody really been willing to talk to for quite some time. We run into each other on the morning show a lot and on Never Mind the Furthermore, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at 10 a.m. # always promote. And he's a great commentator, and I see him on other shows, and I'm thinking I want to have him on here. So we're going to be talking to Mike Jimmy LORTIA de BRUIN in just a moment or two. But first, we got to say our thank yous. And first of all, we want to say thank you to Plasma Fire Graphics, who's sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. If you have a book or a comic that needs a wraparound cover or a regular cover, just like this one, 99 cents, my new book available on Amazon, a quick read crime thriller called Snow Ambition. Anyway, if you're looking for great covers for your publications or graphics that'll help you sell them, or a terrific trailer like you just saw, contact Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Fire Graphics. Check out their page on Facebook, check out their website, and also they're very, very affordable. You will love them. Anyway, check them out. That's plasmafiregraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. Also, we want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please go to our Facebook page and give it a like and follow all these shows. You'll see many of these shows on that page as well. And let's see, tomorrow is Thursday, Wednesday. I'm getting confused again. Anyway, I'll be on tomorrow morning with Never Mind the Furthermore, and starting a week from tomorrow, brand new show called The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming, talking about conspiracy theories and cool things like that. So check this out. We've got your education and mostly your entertainment 7 days a week. So check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Also check out Patreon. It's a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And I am on there, as are many of the people you see here before you. But they are kind enough to give me a little something that keeps this show going, I must say. But in exchange, I give them some treats like peeks at my upcoming works, downloadable books, looks at my weekly blog, all kinds of good stuff. Anyway, check it out. See what we have to offer at www.patreon.com. /Brian K. Morris. And also one more plug, and then we'll get our very, very special guest out here. I will be a guest at the Imaginarium 2021 in Louisville, Kentucky. That is going to be at the Holiday Inn, Louisville East, 1325 South Hurstbourne Parkway. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great. I'll be doing some panels this weekend, both in person and virtual. And I'll be joined by Brian Rodman, my co-host on Comic Book Spectrum, as well as part of the Dastardly Dingoes and creator of The Nebulizer and Memoirs of an Angel. Also, a whole bunch of great authors, seminars, cosplay, award ceremonies, a whole bunch of good times down there. So please check out the Imaginarium at entertheimaginarium.com. Hope to see you this weekend. And now I'm excited. I got to read the latest issue of this gentleman's book, and it is really different. It's really exciting. It's really great stuff. Plus, he's a real good guy. That helps, too. So anyway, I'd like to bring out for you all right now, please welcome Mike Jimmy LORTIA de BRUIN. How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. Well, we're still waking up, but 2 a.m. for
Yeah,
me, so
I was going to say one bit of public service announcement. This is how awesome this guy is. He is here, even though it's in the middle of the freaking night for him. It's just the
oh
start of
yeah.
the evening for me. So I am beyond speechless for once.
You gotta do
You're
it.
taking the time to
Just gotta
be here.
go and keep pushing on. And I'll
That's right.
catch up after this. So
Exactly. Yeah. There's a thing called death. That's when I'm planning on doing all my sleeping. So until then, I'm
exactly.
on the run. So, well, anyway, before we let the audience get a hold of you, and may God have mercy on your soul, I'm going to give you the whole screen. I'm going to give you the floor, sir. And please tell everyone who you are and what you do. That's so awesome.
Hey everyone, I am Mike Jimmy LORTIA de BRUIN. I'm the creator of Life on Cora. I am the creator of my company Fairies and Ants, and with my artists, my writers, and a ton of other folks, we are currently working on several series. The most prominent of one of these is currently Life on Cora, which is on issue 4. We're on Indiegogo right now with only 5 days left. And yeah, we just like fun all ages fantasy stories of all kinds. And yeah, if we put a smile on someone's face and they want more of that, then that's what we try to do, and then that's usually our goal reached.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, the one thing that got me, the one thing I love doing about this show is that I learn so much about my friends online, and I see you, and I mean, this gentleman here, the other hand, Brian, he hustles. Seriously, he's on all of the
Oh
talk
man.
shows. He's regularly on Indie Volt. I'm just amazed he found the time to be here. But it's like you're constantly promoting your book, and you are on the 4th issue, or you're crowdfunding the 4th issue of Life on Cora. That takes a lot of moxie. I'm really proud of you. But tell everybody what Life on Cora is about, please.
So, Life on Cora is a speculative biology series where, in short, self-contained stories, we look at all kinds of creatures and we explore the world together with the reader like that. So you only get one single page of exposition, like this is the world, this is how it works, and yes, it's a very strange world. Um, and we just explored all these little alien creatures, their societies, their little lives, their fears, their joys, um, in very easy to understand all ages stories where they're like they're the kind of stories that I grew up with as a European artist, and that's something that I really want to expand on and create my own of. And with the series that I will used to and still am reading, it's just very much a bande dessinée. Like it's very much European comics, and you're in a strange world, you're with strange creatures, and there's all kinds of things happening, but it always comes around, and it's yeah, we got so many new ideas, and we're not gonna stop for a long time.
Fantastic. That is great. So, you mentioned, you're European. What are some of your artistic influences?
Um, a lot of things by Dargaud. So Asterix, Lucky Luke, Tintin, Suske and Wiske, which is a very Dutch and Belgian one, so don't even try it pronouncing it. Um,
I have enough trouble with your name some days. I don't make it sound as nice as you do.
um, there's Storm, which is a very long-running, very highly realistic series. Um, and yeah, just things of all kinds, and that's something that the American market hasn't really been grown up with as much. Um, where like Daphne Leitch would say, I can find a comic about about chariot, like Roman chariot racing, and have a
Yeah.
wonderful time reading that. And so many specific tiny things that just are completely absent from the American market because it's just been pushed into just superheroes. And when we talk about our comics, then we talk about strips, we talk about asterisks, we talk about funny books mainly. And then on the American side, and with Marvel and DC, you suddenly have superheroes, and that's how we get introduced with superheroes, But for us, it's a so much bigger audience that you can reach. Like we have our most read comic right now in the Netherlands is the Donald Duck Weekly magazine.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So you get like 36 pages of really short Disney stories that are completely unique to the Netherlands. Like there's only one guy drawing these in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get your albums, you get your trade paperbacks, you get floppies like I do, but there is such a broad market that there is always something for everyone.
That's one thing that amazed me. We had a magazine. Well, we still have it over here, but in the 70s, Heavy Metal premiered over here.
Yeah,
and I know as a comics fan, it just really expanded my own appreciation of the medium because here's Jean Giraud, Mobius, all these amazing. Oh yeah, exactly. That's right. I forgot. But he draws in so many different styles.
Yes,
though,
and
which is so amazing.
He is such a inventive artist. Like his inking is something that people still completely study for years to understand because it's just so inventive and so creative and so simplistic in all its beauty. Like that is something to aspire to as an inker myself. But yeah, it's just incredible. And then you got to keep in mind that we got like 100 of those over here in the past 50 years.
Yeah. And that's one thing, that I've been curious about is, the comic culture over here in America for, almost since the inception has been that comics are for kids or for people who don't read too well. And then you go to someplace like Japan where you'll have businessmen on the subway reading the latest Shonen Jump or whatever. Now, where you're in the Netherlands, where does your culture fall on comic books over there?
It's for all ages, and that is the best way to describe it. Like, if I grab an asterisk, then as the 8-year-old me used to do, or even younger, like I'm gonna have a blast and I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But I still do today, and I still love grabbing these and getting the newest one and just having a wonderful read. And it doesn't, it never changes. I picked up a Lucky Luke homage that was 60 pages and a completely separate story. And it was so good. And you could see that the artist was a real fan of the series. And it was a little more serious and a little more grown up. But nonetheless, like I would have given this to my 5-year-old kid and he would have laughed his ass off still. Just FYI, I don't have kids, but my nephew would probably love it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's so few at least here in America, there are so few comics you can do that with.
Yeah,
No, I think it's great. I think that's super. There's just such a vast panorama of comic books out there, that it seems almost criminal not to at least be able to sample them all. Which is
yeah,
why, I'm so happy. Like I said, I used to read heavy metal. I've read some manga. And by the same token, it kind of ruins me here in the States because, like you said, most of what we have here, except for I'd say primarily the independent market where you and I are at,
yeah,
it's superhero. It's nothing but long underwear, tight continuity, and to the point where I can't keep up on it anymore. So, and what's even worse, I don't care anymore. That's
yeah.
that's
And
the problem.
here, you get the continuous fans and new ones constantly, because most stories that you will find will either be 3 parts as a graphic novel, 48, 60 pages, or they will be standalone 32 to 48 page stories. And so you will have the same characters doing different things and having a weird new adventure. Or you have a one shot where you have like 200 pages of a retelling of this is one of my favorites, that like the Schninkel by 2 French creators from the 1990s. This was an independent one. Like, this is one of the few independent comics in Europe that I found.
Wow. Really?
Because the audience is so broad, and the supply is so broad. Like, we will take anything in our publishing companies. So it's totally worth to bring your thing to a publisher, because you won't be shut down if it's not just superheroes.
Interesting. So what's the independent, you mentioned the independent scene over there. You're familiar with what we've got over here, which there is a lot of superheroes in ours, but maybe not just the high percentage of them that you get from the mainstream out of previous catalog. But what's the independent scene
Small.
like there?
Very small.
Is it because they could probably go to a publisher and say, "Here's my stuff," and get print? Do you think that's it?
Yeah. I mean, we have manga style artists that get picked up by our comic publishers. We have pretty much all kinds that will get a chance if they bring out a good story and quality art. At this point, I could probably pitch Life on Cora to like 10 different publishers, and at least 2 of them will be going, "Oh my God, yes, I want this." I want to keep it my own thing. I want to be my own publishing company, but it's a lot smaller. And what you find with independent publishing here is that it's mainly just offers, like offers. Okay. So comics, not so much, but independent writing is very big.
I'm moving to Europe now, folks. Anyway, but that's a good segue to talk about Fairies and Ints, your company. You mentioned before we came on the air how it was formed and how you got the name. If you want to tell that story, that's cool. But tell us how the company started and what you guys produce.
Okay, so we make books, we make comics, we've made anthologies, but Fairies and Ints is pretty much all ages. Like, we want to keep it to a certain level that kids are not stupid, because they're really not. And we don't, like, our stories will not talk down on children, but that doesn't mean that they're not child friendly. It doesn't mean that they're not all ages, but we want to create the kind of stories that we grew up with, as well as give life to things that we haven't grown up with and just want to see. And so we usually say it's child friendly with an edge, because that's what it comes down to. Like in Life on Cora 1, one of the characters breaks their wing, and there is a panel of the bone breaking, not graphically or bloody or whatever, but it does show that like things happened, and this is why, we don't, like, this can happen in real life, so we are going to show what could happen. And that's what I try to keep into it. Currently, we got 2 anthologies made, one about coffee, one about tea. Yes, coffee. I know. It's called Over a Coffee, and it's
love it.
It was so much fun because that was our first anthology we ever made. And so we had no idea what we were doing, because like that was in 2019, and we were only running for less than a year at that point. And we were just like, let's do this. How hard can it be?
Yeah.
Trust me, it's not fun. But we pulled through. We had a successful Kickstarter out of nowhere. And we made the book. And then the next year we did it over with My Cup of Tea, because we had a lot of people going, but I don't like coffee. Can you make one about tea? First of all, blasphemy, but
yeah. Oh yeah. Amen,
but we
brother.
made a book. It's even bigger than the coffee one. And then we made a writing anthology as well, where we had 11 small writers, like web novel writers, make their own 6 to 10K story. And yeah, they're a ton of fun. Don't ask me to edit that many words ever again in my life.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'll keep to comic scripts. But yeah, my ex published a couple of books through me as well. So through Fairies and Ents, and they are they're just so much fun to work on. And so far, I'm really proud of everything we've done. And I know there's things coming up later in this year that I'm gonna be able to say that I'm even more proud of. Because we have a couple of things actually, planned out and being worked on in the background. So Life on Cora is just me slaving away. But we actually have one of my writers for Life on Cora pitch their own 6-issue story. And that is going to come out in a couple of months on crowdfunding. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, you run your campaigns on Kickstarter, and it's kind of amazing to see the global reach it's got. I always, for some reason, I always thought of it as like a North American thing, but to see it convert into like what your currency and the pesos and to yen, that's just incredible. Do you see a lot of crowdfunding campaigns where you're at? Like we do
not
here?
That much. It's not that much. Like, they will do it, but really the crowdfunding thing is very much an American thing. It's been wonderful for me, for my American audiences who crave the kind of things I try and do. But no, it's really not that big here because it's so easy to publish, and that's why I financed Life on Cora 1 and 2 out of my own pocket, like with my ex as well. because we just started going to conventions, and we sold like hotcakes. And it's been a lot of fun selling these to the American audiences and making them go, holy crap, this is awesome.
Isn't that a good feeling?
Yes, it's a wonderful feeling, and it does not get old.
No, it doesn't. No.
No.
I totally hear you. And Rising Tide Publications, they're endorsing this. Check out Life on Cora. Follow that link, and please
that
give
is
comics some love.
The old Kickstarter.
Is that? Dang it!
Yes. Let me put the Life one, because that is on Indiegogo.
Put it in the comments if you would. I thought I had. My apologies.
I'll put it in private chat. If I open anything right now, then my PC is going to die.
And I was so proud. I was so proud of myself. I suck. Anyway, all right, that's it. Yeah, it's a completely different platform. Well, the first one was on Kickstarter. Why did you move to Indiegogo?
Because the Kickstarter completely flopped, and so
don't go there, people. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
No, it's fine. I'm not built on success. I'm built on a pile of, like, a pyramid of failures, and at the top there's like a little gold pebble that's saying, "Yeah, you can do this. It's going to cost you a bit, but you can do this."
Yeah, you got it now.
And so we made 712 euros, which is just under $1,000 on Kickstarter with a 2,000 goal. And then I was like, okay, we're flopping hard. I don't care. We are going to move to Indiegogo. It's going to be a flexible goal, and we're going to make this thing happen. I paid the first two out of my pocket anyway, and I'm not going to stop now.
Good.
So we made 1,230 euros on Life on Cora 3.
Excellent.
And right now, with Life on Cora 4, we are standing at 2,297 euros. So we're making over 1,000 over the last one.
Oh, nice.
So I'm the first weekend after launch, because we were at 1,500 euros in 3 hours. I had some very crippling imposter syndrome going, how the hell did this happen?
You're in the right place to discuss it, brother. I'm telling you.
Man.
The imposter syndrome.
Wow. That was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, what were you feeling? You call it imposter syndrome. Were you feeling like you weren't, like, why are all these people giving me money? Like, I know what I got, but how? How were you feeling?
First of all, like, okay, this is happening again. Fine. It's no longer a hustle. It's no longer a push to the end. We're done. Now it's just seeing how far, we can make this wave go.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, like, I had 1,000 euro tier of make your own Life on Cora story. And I would publish it. Like, I told the podcasters I was on at the time, like, yeah, I'm going to publish it. It's going to be a canon story. If you just want to write the complete thing, that's fine too. I'll just be an editorial role. But if you need more help, then I got 2 writers that will happily help you out.
Nice.
And so 3 hours after the campaign starts, someone in the chat goes 298%, 298, 298, 298. And they refresh, and I'm like, what? And yeah, that was just insane. And it's incredible to see people this positive about something that I'm creating, and it's terrifyingly humbling.
Yes. Yeah. But doesn't it keep you? What doesn't make you want to keep doing more of it, though?
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to stop in any case.
Good man. Good man. Well, as Carl Witzman says, the only people who feel imposter syndrome are the people who've actually accomplished something. So,
Fair.
yeah, that helped me a lot. And also, what'll help you a lot is if the host puts up the correct address.
It
So
happens.
please,
It happens.
yeah. Oh, we're just doing a 90-minute blooper reel here. That's all there is. But anyway, no,
That's
check
fine.
out Life with Cora. It's good comics. The art is lovely. Now you do
Thank you.
the whole art job yourself, correct?
No.
Oh,
I do the writing, inking, and lettering, and
okay.
then I hired a colorist for Life on Corda 3 and onward, and I love her to bits because I don't give her any art direction whatsoever. She just nails everything I have in my head.
She does a lovely job. I was knocked out by
Yes.
how your art itself. Just give everyone some background. Mike Jimmy gave me a file of Life on Cora, which was not finished yet, but
Yes.
it the first part was fully colored, fully lettered, and the other part was just Mike Jimmy's the artwork with Mike Jimmy inking, and it was terrific. Because coloring can hide some defects in the art, but this stuff was just beautiful. It was very clean lines, which I appreciate. And
Hold on, let me
then when the
grab your
color,
page to show you
yeah,
guys.
please do, please do. But at the same time, then you go through the opening part of the book that I saw, and the colors actually enhanced the art
Yes.
and really gave me a feeling of an alien landscape, something alien to me, but not unfamiliar. Yeah, let me give you the whole screen on this, my friend.
Yeah, sure.
Take a look at that, folks.
So this is the
Yeah.
first page of the comic, and you can buy
Oh,
every single original page from the issue. This one has already been taken.
I understand that.
Yeah,
That's lovely.
and there's like 3 or 4 of these full page prints in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's first come, first serve.
Yeah, and I'm admiring the detail in that, which is something that I think is very European. Is
Yes.
The incidental detail. I mean, it's not like they're drawing every brick, every little grain of sand, but there's plenty of stuff there that you're thinking, okay, a lot of American artists would have called it a day about 2 or 3 hours worth of work before.
Or you go to the 90s and they have a lot of lines that absolutely make no sense, but they're lines for the sake of lines.
Yeah. And I saw too much of that when the Image started taking over its share of the market. I think they were trying to do like the Asian speed line things to denote action, to denote movement. But I think you're right. It's just like, I don't feel like drawing a background. Let's just draw lines. So
yeah,
I used to draw. I know what they're doing.
Yeah. and what I like, for a lot of things, I will if I have to make a cityscape or something, I can see when I don't like it when everything is straight, it's perfect, that's not how life works.
Right.
So what I will do is just put in tiny dots, put in tiny cracks here and there that will just come out when I'm inking. I don't even think about them. They're just tiny little details that just make the thing feel alive.
Yeah.
And that is something that I like to see in other with other creators as well. The little incidental, like, what does this crack mean to this building? How old does it make it?
Right.
And that feels so much. That feels so good to be able to lose yourself in the background as well, rather than just focus on the characters and then have like 5 panels with 2 characters talking, one on the left, one on the right, and then the scene ends and they pull away and they're in a room with 2 chairs and perfectly clean walls and everything. And I'm like, that's not how life works.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's all the background stuff that my uncle gave me Mad Magazine, the old Harvey Kurtzman Mads to read when I was 5. And he taught me, look at the backgrounds. Look at, yes, there's a joke in the foreground, but look at all the action that's going on behind it. There's like a whole nother story going on there. So yeah, I like that approach. I really dug Life with Cora. Or Life on Cora. That was really good, folks. Please go to Kickstarter right now and please, or go Indiegogo. See, I'm still in the past.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. No,
anyway,
I came into comics being a concept artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do very elaborate background scenes and stuff like that because I just love doing those.
Sure.
And Life on Cora really made me combine both my love for extravagant scenes with fantasy creatures and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was just a match in heaven for me. But it's if you go to fairiesandents.com, there is a portfolio page, and you can see some of my older stuff as well, and you'll see what I came from. From before 2018, and it's something else.
Yeah, and I was noticing it, and it is good to see that you have grown as an artist. I think that is fantastic. I really do, and I like the direction your art is going. I think you're going to be highly complimented for it. And speaking of highly complimentary, I'm sure everyone in the audience is ready to start doing that to you as well. Let's run through the names, and we'll post some of these as we can. Carl Witzman, hello to you. Sarah, mwah, glad to see you. And Ryan Permison is sharing this. Thank you, Ryan,
Sweet,
so much.
Thank you.
And Willow Schuyler, mwah. And okay, he's got a question. In your reading, Mike Jimmy, what are 5 books that you think belong on everyone's bookshelf? And I'm going to make that comic book related. What 5 books?
Yeah, no.
What books do you think?
The Schninkel. Hold on, let me get some.
Okay, well, then I will read some more comments. How's that?
Yes.
All right. And I will take over the screen. And when he comes back, we will go back. And hello, Keisha A. Cup, beautiful you. Mwah. And Cindy Kep, mwah, glad to see you. And Dan Hollifield, always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. And John Celestri, good to see you. Bloodwing Angel, check it out. Joe Dog McKeel, hope you're going to be around tomorrow morning. It is here. And oh no, I've got hiccups now. Is whiskey a cure for hiccups? There's only one way to find out, Carl. And I'll help you research if I can. And Donna Carly, mwah, glad you're here. Thank you for everyone for showing up. Everyone saying hello. And let's see. And I'm not going to read that Legend of the Traveling TARDIS every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on the Hanging with Web Show Network. And let's see, Brad, Janet, Dr. Scott, Rocky, and Comics Talk and Puppets Van Zandt. Hey, yo, yourself, how you doing? And let's see, here we go. And hello, Carl Witzman. Thank you so much for that. And good morning. It could be time has no meaning for me whatsoever anymore. And Mike Jimmy has brought his book back. See how slick this show is? Good God. It's amazing.
So these are from my newer collection. Like my dad used to collect comics of his own, so they would all be in my bedroom where I would read them. So there's The Dark Crystal, Creation Myths. This is a 3-part graphic novel, and it is absolutely one of the most beautiful watercolored digital watercolor and oil paint books that I've read in a long time. And yeah, they're a little more European in their style as well. And it's a wonderful story. It's totally worth reading. It's about the son of Ogra. So the seer. Then there's Asterix. Just any Asterix, just grab one. You know, if you ever get one,
Yes.
get an asterisk, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
This isn't a
discovered that when I
comic.
was about 10 years old. One of our local bookstores got a hold of some 3 of the Asterix books, and I'm like, oh my god, that was probably the first real foreign comic I ever read, and I was just like amazed by it. It could be
Yes.
serious one minute, and then it could be, drop down on the floor laughing hilarious the next. Oh my god, such wonderful stuff.
So the next one is the Watch series, just by Terry
Terry
Pratchett,
Pratchett. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because this guy knows comedy. This guy knows exactly the kind of comedy that I love,
Yeah.
and it's such an easy, fun read. And especially through the Discworld series, you see him really grow in his writing, and it's just get the Discworld series. They are wonderful books, and they are an incredible laugh that you can read over and over again and just find more details in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Then there is the Schminkel, which I touched up on earlier in the show, but to show you why, because this was originally all in black and white, and you would have no issue to follow everything in just the inks.
Wow.
They
That is
are
lovely.
absolutely beautiful pages.
Yeah. And great body language. Doesn't look like there's any stock poses. That looks amazing.
So I have to block something out apparently because I grabbed the wrong one. But there is Storm.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I'm sorry, but no boobies today, guys.
I'll show mine if we have to.
Yeah, well, I could take his shirt off too, and I'll show you my end.
There you go. There we go.
What? I got a little tattoo on here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, no. I know, but it's fun to introduce it like that.
Yeah, you know my audience.
But yeah, guys, like it's all watercolor and ink.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is just
sweet.
Such a beautiful, beautiful series, and they have been going for ages and ages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that sort of stuff is tough to do on a computer.
So you have the series Bob and Bobette, or Suske and Wiske, as it's known in Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
They never got big outside of the Netherlands and Belgium. They've been around for over 75 years. But if you can look one of these up, and you can find them online. There have been albums translated to English. Mm-hmm. They are very simply drawn, but the quality, like they are made like comic strips. There's the 12-panel grid.
Yeah.
And the quality of these stories is just absolutely one of the best things that you will find.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the original writer died ages ago, but you get the same kind of constant new adventures with all kinds of all kinds of mishaps. They go to the future, they go to space, they go into the past. It's your monster of the week without the monsters.
And what was that book again?
Suske and Wiske.
Okay,
Bob and Bobette.
Yeah, I have heard of it. The artwork remind me a lot of Tintin.
Yes, because they're from the same age.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
This is pretty much about as old as Tintin. Like they started around the same time.
Right.
And the reason they are so little, they seem so alike, is because at that time that was the normal comic books, like that was the newspaper strip style of the 50s here.
Okay, yeah.
And that's what a lot like, and from there it grew. But for the most part, like from a lot of things from the early 40s, 50s, and 60s was like this.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing that a lot of the stuff that comes out of Europe, I don't see a lot of copycat stuff. You know how, like
No.
in America, like in the '90s, you know, everything looked like Rob Liefeld or
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane. Everything back in the '60s tried to look like either Jack Kirby back then. Before that was Cy Berry or Simon and Kirby, whoever. That there doesn't seem to be as much of a trend, if you will, with
Yeah.
European comics that I find refreshing. So, Ryan,
Yeah.
go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we like different styles. We want to keep that industry open and easy to access. Monopolies around here are very much not really a thing. Things get popular and less popular over time, but that's normal. But for the most part, it's more of a natural progression if you can help it.
Yeah.
And it makes for a very big diversity. Like, yes, you will see especially influences from Saskia and Wiske for me, with the clean lines and everything, and Tintin. But you will also see the trees that I'll make with a brush, the foliage with a brush. So you get all the different feelings of leaves and everything. And that's from Asterix.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you got my colorist, who has that kind of early flat color style, with a little hint of watercolor pushed in there as well. So it kind of makes it feel like alcohol markers. And that was exactly the style that I was going for, and tried to with my own coloring. But trust me, I'm not a colorist.
Yeah.
If you read Life on Cora 1 and 2, you'll see exactly why.
Yeah, it's best to call in the experts after a certain point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
at some point, I don't do my own plumbing anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Ryan Permisson also has a question. Who are your favorite comic book characters and why?
Well, I pretty much shown you some of them in there, but yeah, Asterix and Obelix, Lucky Luke, and most of his adversaries. Most of his enemies, because they're such a wide bunch, from the Daltons to Billy the Kid and everything. And there would be a list that goes on and on. Because my library got so big as an early, in my very early years, that I wouldn't be able to name them all right now.
Yeah, I hear that. And Ryan has another question. What are your favorite movies or TV series? Do you have time to take any of them in, as busy as you are?
Well, I rarely watch movies or TV series, that's for sure. I really love Lord of the Rings, and I will happily rewatch those once in a while, because they're a great inspiration to me. That's about it. I really like the Devilman anime series, and the original comic as well. But I really don't watch all that much. I love DuckTales 2017. That was such a good, wonderful series.
That was good.
Oh man, that was such a throwback to my early days. Wow. Yeah. But I don't get much time.
Yeah, that's how we get this stuff done, right?
Yeah. You can't have anything going on in the background, because the foreground needs everything.
Exactly. Now let's continue with some of the comments. Sarah, oh, you're gonna have spectacular joy being able to be around people again. BKM, I'm excited for you. Thank you. Don't forget Imaginarium Louisville this coming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Please check out Enter the Imaginarium. I will be there. Also at the same time, I believe will be CromCon. So if you can't watch me, watch CromCon. You'll be happy you did. And welcome, Mike, from Sarah. And Comics Talk with Pops Fans and says, LOC is awesome. An excellent world building. Can we take this to the green room? Pops wants to drink. Oh, who doesn't want to drink tonight? And now in City, we did cover some of this, some of the differences between American and European comics. There's a lot of them. And the more you find, the more you'll want to look at. Sarah asks, where are you located? Yup, about being in a strange world. That's my everyday life. And she would like you to say your name again, please. It sounds awesome.
Okay, so the LORTIA part is a nickname that I kept from way back. And a lot of people know me by that name. But my complete name is Mike Jimmy de Bruin.
Yeah, that's the thing, and you're going to say what accent, but, it's like I hear you pronounce. I've got a friend named Kadrolsha Ona, and she rolls her R's, Kadrolsha. And, and I just say it with my Midwest accent. And I feel that they're going to, you and Kadrolsha are going to hit me one day because quit mispronouncing my name. So, even though I'm hitting all the letters, so I get it. And you live in the Netherlands, right?
Yes.
All right. Specific city?
Krommenie.
Everyone knows where that is, right, Sarah?
Yeah, no. I'll explain where it is because it's just above Amsterdam. So you get Amsterdam, you got a little wart on top of it that's called Zaandam, and the very, very, very top of that there's a little pimple called Krommenie.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's cool. I do know where Amsterdam is, in relation to
I'm a 20-minute train ride away.
Oh wow! Oh, very
cool.
Like.
Keep in mind, the Netherlands is tiny. I can move in any direction for 2 hours and I'll be out of the country or in the sea.
Yeah, where we've got cities here in America that you can drive for 2 hours and be nowhere near the countryside. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I totally get that. And Cindy Cap
some of your cities are literally bigger than our entire country, nearly. So, yeah.
I totally get that. It was like, I'm close to Chicago, and it's like that, to go from the south end to the north end of it probably takes about 2 or 3 hours, probably takes about closer to 3 hours than anything. And that's our third biggest city in America. So Cindy Cap is honoring you with a joke, Mike. How do you make an octopus laugh? With 10 tickles. And
I love her jokes.
I know, I do too. See, that's when she loves you, that she appreciates you, that she gives you the jokes. You know how hard it was the one week when I was interviewing her and we had to supply the jokes? She is a resource of humor for us. And Dan Hollifield says, drink them if you got them, Pops. That goes for the rest of you. All right.
Cheers, lad.
That's right. And Michaela Jade, hey there, friends. I wanted to pop on and say hi before I head to bed. Well, Michaela, glad you're here. Please check out Michaela Jade's morning inspiration to give you a kick in the ass when you need it to get up in the morning. You may want to tune into that, Mike Jimmy. You've got quite the busy schedule. And also Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles. She's awesome. And Sarah, oh, how cool. I have relatives in the Netherlands and ancestors.
Sweet.
I'm entranced by your accent.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. How many shows do you go on that people are like digging your accent? How's that?
Well, they either ask me where I'm from or they ask if I'm from Michigan.
Really?
Yeah. And to keep in mind, my accent is a lot less thick than a normal Dutch person. So, because I grew up with English being my second language.
Okay, yeah.
So there is, a little bit of the accent, but for the most part, I grew up bilingual.
That's awesome. That is cool. Yeah, we don't have as much here as some cultures do, where English is almost a almost a mandatory second language for a lot of
Yeah, and
cultures.
it kind of is.
Yeah.
Not really. Like, yeah, there's like 19 million Dutch native speakers, actually Dutch. Then you got the Belgians who speak Flemish, which is so close to Dutch that it's not even considered its own language. It's a dialect.
Sure.
But yeah, it's a small country. We are very Americanized by now, like most of Europe is. But we don't cling on to our language as much as other countries do, like Germany or France or Italy. Pretty much every other country.
That's true. And even America. Yeah, look how many dialects we've got. Oh, Lord. And Rick Bradley, good evening to you, sir. And Cindy Kemp, do you do all the comic book things, or are you specialized? You're the writer, you're the inker, and it makes me glad to see you doing it on the boards rather than the computer. Nothing against computers.
No, I'm not a writer either. I can write. I just have a terrible imagination. Like, I have complete aphantasia. So if I close my eyes, there's nothing.
Okay.
Makes it very hard for a visual artist. I have written my own story called Sage of Sunset, which is on tapas.io. And there is like 110 pages of that already. And that has been... Hold on, do I have a page around here of that? No. But that's okay. You can see my very, very first pages in comics on that. And I started that late 2017. That was my start of my comic career. I discontinued it. It is in the back burner. Like, I want to rewrite it. I want to, get it fully written. And then I'm probably going to outsource it to a different artist. But no, I do inking. I do pencils. I do lettering. I can do flat colors, but for the most part, that's where I end. Oh, and I do the editing for my writers.
Very cool. And what does the dolphin say when he's confused? Can you please be more Pacific?
Oh,
that's great. Now, going back to Cindy's question, though, I take it the story, though, is yours, right? Do you talk it over with your writer, or do you draw it out first and leave notes?
No, it's completely theirs.
Oh, really?
I like the same way I don't give art direction to my colorist, I don't give it to my writers either. So it's this is the world, these are the rules, and go have fun in my sandbox.
Nice.
And they come up with a creature idea, they come up with a story idea, and I'll go over that, point by point, going, okay, this is magic, so that goes out.
Right.
You might want to change these colors because they're literally not there in the world of Cora. Right. And then we're good. Like, go and script. And less than a month later, I usually get a 32-page script thrown in my lap and be like, go edit.
Nice. And Rick Bradley's hopping on the plane with me. And see you on the morning show, Michaela. Glad you got home safely. Mwah, she had some automobile troubles earlier today. Ooh. And Sarah asks, how did you come across Indie Volt, etc.? How did you discover all these crazy shows over here?
Last year, I got into the organization for the online convention Stay Home Comic Con here in the Netherlands. Because a couple of creators after COVID shut down everything, were like, we're going to make an online convention in 10 days. Ooh, so they did. It was a lot of fun. And then we did it a second time. And I just started talking with the organizers, and being all comic creators pretty much. It was a lot of fun to just talk to those people. And I slowly got pushed into being in the organization and helping out. And then in March, while I was running Life on Cora 3 on Kickstarter still, one of them was like, hey, Pops Van Zandt is doing CromCon Europe. You want to hit him up and, yeah, from there I just met Pops, and I found other things, and and from there it just found that I really like doing these kinds of shows, so I'm just gonna do them. And
Cool.
yeah, I like the same way I met you, Brian. Like
Right.
just seeing a show and then seeing you doing something, and being like, yeah, what does he do?
Well,
and having
glad
fun
to
like
hear
that.
that. Yeah. Nobody knows what I do around here.
No, neither
we're
do
gonna
I.
We're gonna keep it a secret too, damn it. But anyway, because otherwise they'll start expecting it of me. Anyway, Sarah asked, do you call them cigarettes or a very unfortunate word here in America? Thing.
No, we call those cigarettes. We call them
They're all
cigarettes.
cigarettes. Yeah, because I know the Brits sometimes refer to them as that.
Yes,
to this
but
day.
we don't. We don't.
Yeah, and Sarah, that's okay because it's the differences in languages I also find interesting. Like I'm going through a phase right now of Japanese superhero shows like Ultraman, Mirror Man, things like that, and it's amazing how much of the English language has infiltrated other languages. Now, has that done it to Danish?
Oh yes.
Has it? Okay.
No, not Danish. Danish is 4 hours away.
Oh,
Dutch.
That's right. Never mind. I don't know my map. Screw that. I know where Chicago is.
I mean, it's pretty much like the only thing keeping the Netherlands and Denmark apart.
Yeah.
Is a tiny strip of Germany along the coastline. Like I could go all the way through the northern part of the Netherlands, take a tiny strip of Germany, and be in Denmark in 4 hours.
Right. Now, that's is that the Sudetenland? That's not the Sudetenland, is it?
I have no clue.
Yeah, because I know there's this one strip, and it may be this may be what you're referring to, but it's almost like every time Germany wants to declare war, they take that over.
So no. That is the Rhineland. That is
all right.
That is a tiny piece. Like that is a strip from the 3-country point between Belgium, France, and Germany to France, Austria, and Germany.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they switch in between constantly. Yeah.
Oh, and Sarah says, I love the Lock and Key series. It's not all superhero. I have it in a box set. I'm going to be in your luggage on the way to Europe. Okay, great. Coolness. And Cindy would like to know, what's your next project? Will it continue to be Life on Cora for the
I have script for Life on Cora until issue 10.
Wow.
Already? Yeah, and that's been since I hired my writers a year ago. But currently we have a series in the making called The Radiant Sight, which is a Korean drama style story where a girl from the slums finds a dress, and when she puts it on, she becomes irresistible. And so, she becomes the most beautiful thing in the room, and every eye turns to her and everything. And so she's using it to both get herself up in society as well as bring up the slums. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that come to fruition. I'm only the editor. My writer for Life on Cora 3, Martin Fisher, is doing those. Martin Fisher came to me last year when I was looking for writers with an email going, yeah, I write for Lego. And I was like, what kind of Lego? And he was like, if you've ever seen a little comic strip at the back of your instruction booklet, those are usually mine in the UK.
Nice.
And that just blew my mind. So he apparently does that mostly for Star Wars and a couple of other franchises within Lego.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
That was so specific, though.
Yeah.
And it's
amazing.
He is a writing beast. Like, he's got so many scripts ready for me already. and it's incredible. And then the writer for Life on Cora 4, because I switch him over between issues. Kimberly Kovac is from the US herself,
Oh,
and
nice.
she will she takes a longer time, but she tends to put a lot more energy into the lesson of the story, because there's often a not really intended lesson, but you learn a little red line in there that you can take along for the rest of your life. And I loved what she did in Love Agora 4 for that.
That's cool. That was a good story. And speaking of good, there's Cindy kept going, what did the ocean say to the shore? Nothing. It just waved.
Smile and wave, boys.
That's
Smile and
right.
wave.
CKOEPP.com. Check out her offerings on Amazon, and please
Yes.
check out her newsletter because she's awesome. And good evening to you, Grant Lankert. And Sarah says, teach the licking of the spine. Education is key. We will do that on a future show. There you go. There we go. See, we've got my.
See, I've been
here.
educated. I've been well
You
educated.
have. Well done, young Jedi. Well done. And Cindy Kemp wants to know, what's your favorite techie tool? What piece of electronics or program or app makes your creative stuff easier?
So, well, of course, my XP pen display makes my life a lot easier. And 2 years ago, I bought Clip Studio Paint, and I've never looked back, because it's a wonderful program for digital comics. So before this, I worked in Paint Tool Sci, which is a wonderful program if you don't want to do anything other than illustrations. And getting into comics, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get Clip Studio, because it's really made to make comics. And it's got wonderful tools for that, and it's easy to use. It's a bit of a learning curve, but you can literally customize every single thing in there. It's so wonderful for only $50.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cheap compared to some programs on the market. I mean, you look at Photoshop.
Yeah.
I mean, even before it became a subscription based app, it was I seem to recall it being like over $400. Over $400 if you got all the bells and whistles connected with it. So yeah, that's dirt cheap, people. Cindy Kemp asks, where does a mermaid keep her money? In the riverbank.
Oh God.
I love it. And Cindy Kemp also wants to know, can you tell us an interesting convention story? Uh-oh. Is this one where I'm going to have to check some IDs here to make sure they're old enough?
No. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm just thinking on one that isn't a horror story.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel you, brother.
So, on the very first con that I went to, we sold literally only one book.
Ooh, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. But there were a couple of reasons for that. One, it was my very first convention, and I was a noob. But we sold Life on Cora 1 there. And so at my last convention in 2019, that person came back to me going, so do you have any more going? And like that was the point where I felt a lump in my throat. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm working on issue 2. Like it's in the making. Right. But it's gonna be done in January. Like, please have my card. Hit me up. Like I will have it done soon. And so I finished Infinite Guardian issue 2 in January, and in February I finished Love on Cora 2. And a week after the books came in, everything went quiet. And I had like 30 conventions set up for 2020. Not a single one went through.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
I'm hurting. I hurt to hear
Yeah,
that.
that hurt because
Mhm.
at the end of 2019, I started to make serious money off of comics,
Yeah.
you know, and people started looking for fairies and ants.
Hmm.
So that hurt. That hurt
Oh,
really
God.
hard.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, and I want to point out that this thing that Mike Jimmy is talking about, this is his day gig. This is
Yeah,
plan A. This is his he draws and writes comics full time and edits and publishes. That's his main gig. We discussed this a little before the show that he had the faith in his own work to take that huge leap that a lot of
yeah,
people don't. And good on you. And it's just shows everybody here that if you have that much faith in your own work and you
go
work
for it.
at it,
You
definitely.
know, and keep in mind, like, yes, it's a leap, and no, you will never ever have a free more moment in the rest of your life.
Hmm.
But you know, you do 80% of, like, the job you love is 80% doing the things that you hate in order to
Hmm.
get 20% of the thing that you love.
Exactly.
But it's worth those 20% every single moment.
Yeah. Well said. Well said, sir. Oh, yeah. And I tell people also, um, if you work for someone else, do you enjoy everything you have to do there? And I've
Yeah,
not met anyone who said, "Oh yeah, I love every waking moment of it. I don't know why they send me home." Um, and wouldn't you rather be doing that for yourself? See,
exactly,
and reaping
exactly.
the reward for your own faith. And Grant Lankard says, "Don't forget to like." That's right, folks. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like this, like the page that you're watching it on. It's a thank you to our hosts. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe because we've got all kinds of cool stuff on here, including we're going to have this guy back here eventually, and he doesn't know it yet. But anyway, we're going to have him
Well, you
back, and
know,
we're
I'd
going to
love
have some
to.
more.
You can't. I can't say no to the Fez.
Oh my God! And the Fez wants you back here, my friend. That's all there is to it. And where is the ocean the deepest? As Cindy kept at the bottom. Uh,
Well,
makes
it's
sense,
just a
and
spiral from there.
it's true. And there is the address for Life on Cora, the correct one. So please give it some love if you would, please. And I said earlier that I suck, and she says, no, I don't suck. Anyway, moving on. Thank you, Sarah, and hey, everyone. And and this is an excellent question from Cindy Cap, who just finished about a month ago her own successful crowdfunding campaign, and good on her. For
It's
you,
always
what?
marketing,
Yeah.
always.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
always is. It's
Hmm.
like, I am taking the grunt on pretty much everything fairies and ants. You know, I'm the face of the company. I do the crowdfunding. I do the promotions. You know, like now with Brian, like, this is something that I have to do, and you know, it's starting to pay off. But it's always marketing. It's always being there. Um, you don't have. It's not a convention. It's where you have a weekend of shilling your book and people just walk by. No, this is something where you just have to get it in all the like, into everyone's vision
Hmm.
for 30 or 60 days straight, and it does not end from there.
No.
You know, like, in August, I'm gonna have to um, get everything set up, ship it out to the United States, whatever goes to the US, and ship out the rest myself, that goes to Europe and UK. But yeah, no, it's a job on its own. It's a project, and you have to look at it as such.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Cindy Cap says, "Where are the strongest? Which are the strongest creatures in the ocean? Mussels."
Muscles.
And what lies at the bottom of the ocean and quivers? A nervous wreck. And then she has another great question: what makes Life on Cora, the comic book, unique to other comic books?
Well, we can start
Thank
with the world. So you have a core. And keep in mind, this is a sci-fi megastructure. I wrote essays about this world on how it works. You, however, will not see it in the comic itself because it's character focused. But you got the world, They got continents orbiting it like planets to a sun, and there's a single cloud that gives water to everything. And from there, life just sprouted, or continued rather. And yeah, it's a very improbable world, but I managed to make it work. It wasn't easy, but it's a lot of fun to speculate about for me, and to spend hours just thinking up creatures and thinking on how the world works. So yeah, I do a lot of world building, but you don't see it in those comics, and I'm proud of that you don't see it. Like, you don't need it. There aren't 60 pages of exposition on this is how every tiny thing works, and then 30 pages of actual story. Like, no, you get 1 page of exposition with the concept art for the world, and then you're straight into the character story.
That's beautiful. I do dig that. I dig that a lot. And viewing your art earlier, Joe Dog McKeel says, awesome. And Dan Hollifield also says, indeed. And Cindy Kemp goes, wow. And
Thanks,
Sarah, thank you all. Thank you all very much. Sarah has a question. She is of the pagan faith herself. And she goes, does the Netherlands have pagan folklore? I'm surprised to have not researched it. And she's intrigued.
Yeah, we got a bunch of pagan folklore. I'm actually a very big Renaissance Fair guy, and the festival that I go to every single year, Castlefest, is actually the biggest fantasy fair in Europe.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm actually going to be on the writer's market there for the first time this year. So I'm really looking forward to that. Instead of, being at the camping and then drinking away my weekend, I'll be behind the table shilling my book.
There we go. Oh, see, this shows you the dedication. Who else would say that, well, gee, I don't have to drink all weekend.
Yeah, like, no, I shouldn't drink in the first place. But
most of us shouldn't.
No. It's the thing is, like, when I drink, my legs give out. I have a very mild epilepsy, so I get very bad nerve pain in my legs.
Ooh, yeah.
It doesn't keep me from drinking all the time, but for the most part, if I want to walk the next week, then I have to keep from drinking.
Yeah, that's a very good reason. Cindy Kemp asks, who keeps the ocean clean? The mermaid. And she also wants to know, do you hide Easter eggs in the works? Do you have like little jokes that maybe they're for you or for friends? Okay, do tell.
So it's mainly Life on Cora 2, but I did put in a few smaller ones where I knocked back at the previous issues, because I tried to put in as many creatures in every issue as possible, as much as I create them.
Right.
But in Life on Cora 2, there's a very high emphasis on thought up languages, or alphabets rather. They're not real languages. We didn't go that far, but you can literally translate all the symbols in there to English. And there are hieroglyphs in issue 2, and there's some things exclaimed in those languages that are very funny.
Love it. That is super. What a great idea. Comics Talk with Pops Van Zandt says, I have 3 more copies of Life on Cora to give away. Stay tuned to his shows all month, which is what you should be doing anyway, people.
Yeah.
You have no life other than Pops. And Rick Bradley says, yep, 90s did have a ton of lines. I think the lighting for Rob Liefeld's comics came through Venetian blinds. You're probably right. And Pop Culture Avenger, glad to have you here. Hail, Brian K. Morris Rising, and Mike Jimmy. Good to see you, man. And Carl Witzman, science marches on. He found out that whiskey does help with the hiccups. And
That's
hello,
good.
all. Yeah, I've got another cure, but we can't talk about it on the air. Anyway, and yes, the major award will be unveiled tomorrow. And who did we have there, Mike Jimmy?
This is Shelby. Shelby is my little bundle of annoyance.
Hi,
And
Shelby.
she is the main reason that I ever smudge on my inks.
Okay. So yeah, I totes get it. And Sarah goes, whoa, how? And this is a question I was waiting to ask
Yeah.
you. How long did it take for that page that you showed us to from blank to amazing?
About 6 hours of pencils and then 3 hours of inking.
Wow.
So I use dip pens, so quills and Indian ink, and then a little bit of brushwork. But yeah, it's about 9 hours total. For an average page, it'll be around 8 hours.
That's not bad, actually. All things considered, pencils and inks. There's a lot of artists that can't do that. So kudos to you. And
Well,
everybody's saying, oh, yeah, go ahead.
A little thing that helps me is that
not watching TV or going to the movies. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that helps. But like I make a lot of concepts before I start on the actual comic. You know, if there's big scenes that I have to do, then I will work out the entire scene first. You know, being into comics as a concept artist for backgrounds. So I'll work that out first, and then I can just either copy paste it into the comic and save myself like hours, or I can just use it as a reference. And let me grab one real quick, which is the store that Calais has in issue 4. Well, there's another one, actually. So this is a cavern that
Look at
is in page 19 and onward for Life on Cora 4.
Ooh.
But let me look it up.
That's fantastic.
I also made the store, and this took long. This took very long. Just all the little details and gems, and oh man. And this one I had to redraw for the comic. Like
redraw?
I had to put in the characters. So there's only one scene in there's only one panel in the entire comic that uses the pencils from this scene. And the rest was reimagining it from all kinds of angles. And that's why I fully inked it as well. So I had a direct thing to put beside me while I was working on the rest of the panels.
Wow. That was exquisite work. And what you were talking about, like no straight lines, and and I've seen old mortar. Anyone that's looked at old mortar, that's just what it looks like. It's not a clean straight line because things settle, things deteriorate. That was freaking beautiful, my friend. Let's move on to the comments. And Sarah, her Freudian slip showed, leave it to me to see the title Storm as Sperm. They both start and end with the same letters. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. You do that.
Cheers.
Yeah. And I do the same thing. And does education there teach being bilingual from a young age?
No.
No, this is on your own?
You will start getting English in schools from about 10.
Okay.
So that is relatively early. And then German and French get introduced when you go to middle school, which is around 12 to or 13 years old. And then English, of course, continues. But my grandparents used to take me to church, and it was an English church. So very early on, from like pretty much when I was 2 years old, I would go to Sunday school there, and have to go along with the English, and usually the Brits that were on vacation and took their children, and good luck, have fun. You don't understand the word, but you're gonna learn very quickly now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that just stuck, and I cannot get any other language into my head. Like I tried I had French and German for years, and on average I had 20% of my answers correct. And then I looked at English, and I was getting straight 10s all the way. So yeah, it's just those two languages, and don't try and teach me anything else.
I understand that. And hello, Teresa Dunn. Also check out her show tomorrow night at 6 p.m. where her guest is going to be me. I will be making my triumphant return to her show, and I'm looking forward to it. And and you got I will contact you after the show in a few minutes. Cool. Cindy Kemp was born in Upper Michigan and grew up in Texas, so I'm fluent in both Southern drawl and Yooper. When I'm nervous, the Yooper tends to be stronger. So when I did tech support, I was often asked where I was from. People guess Canada. There we go. And Cindy says the Sudetenland is near and in Czechoslovakia, or what I guess used to be Czechoslovakia. So, okay, very cool. Yeah. And Joe Dog McKeel of Stupid O'Clock, Thursdays at 9 on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and Saturdays at 11 p.m. And stay tuned for Dan Holofield's Last Man Standing. Have you ever had a storyline that just never worked, then some crazy real event made it all click? Asked Joe Dog McKeel.
Not really. At least not for me. Because I'm really not that much of a writer. I don't like writing all that much. So no, not really for me.
Okay. Dan Holofield says, I didn't even know that writing for Lego was a thing. Makes sense.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, it's like
that was so weird.
Yeah, it's like when I discovered like the little comics in the Bazooka comic, the Bubblegum, Bazooka Bubblegum, that not only were written and drawn by actual humans, but I later learned who some of them were. So I had
that's awesome. Yeah,
it really opens up your world like that. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story. I was at a show in Hannibal, Missouri, a couple weeks ago, and this one young lady came up to me and was saying she was interested in writing, but she didn't know where to go. And I said, well, I know how you felt, because when I was about your age, that's when somebody told me that somebody got paid to put the words inside the word balloons inside my comic books. And she was like, really?
Yeah.
So, she had she had an epiphany right then and there, and she was able to talk to me and my friend Eric S. Hawkins of the Zombie for World of Oz. So Sarah says, my maiden name is Van Skyek. I bet you pronounce it better than anyone else because it's Dutch. I stuck with my ex-husband last name because no one else can freaking pronounce it here. Yeah, she lives in the heart of the Illinois. Yeah.
That almost Van Scoik.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Possibly.
see that. Yeah, and I'm going by an Americanization of it. So yeah.
Well, I mean, Van Siok. That's possible too. Because the Y, and if the Y and O were flipped around, it would be Scoik.
Mm-hmm. I have heard it pronounced like that at times here in America. So interesting. Good question, Sarah.
Yeah.
And you're getting probably the first time you're ever going to get this compliment, Mike Jimmy. Ooh, dang. You are a quick learner. Nice licking. That's what she said. Anyway,
if I ever have it
any
before, then you won't hear it.
That's right. Here we go. You saw it here first, folks. And Rick Bradley asks, are there any American comics that you follow?
No.
That was easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's some indies that I follow. And there's independent creators that I follow. But when it comes to mainstream comics, no. No, I'm sorry. It's just no.
I hear you. I totally hear you. And Joe Dog McKeel has a joke for you. He said, this is getting ridiculous. It's July 6th, and people are still setting off fireworks. One almost just caught our Christmas decorations on fire. God bless you, Joe Dog.
Or a little behind, and at this point, you're closer to Christmas anyway. You might as well keep it.
That's true. And I see so many people just like, I ain't climbing on that ladder twice a year. Screw that. And Rick Bradley asks, have you ever thought of a Life on Cora role-playing game?
Yes. That would be awesome. I would not be able to write it. But, if you're ever interested in getting something like that into the world, hit me up. Because that would be awesome.
I can hook you up. We'll talk.
Yeah, well, right now I don't have the money to get anyone hooked up either.
We'll talk after the show. I know
sure.
people. All right.
Awesome.
Cindy Cap asks, why do whales swim in salt water? Because pepper water makes them sneeze.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. And anyway, the new star of this show has made an impression on our people. So, and BKM, you made a big wrestler blush and be scared of your hiccup cure. That's true. We are not going to talk about that right now, darling. And we do have you do listen to music as you work. Cindy kept asks, how do you cut the ocean in half? With a seesaw. And Sarah says, real life happens after I write about it. It's insane. And
that's self-fulfilling prophecy.
There we go. And we have a winner here. The second guess of her maiden name is correct. Well done. Well done, sir.
Woo.
And Rick Bradley goes, cats are the best.
Yes, they are.
That's what all you cat lovers say. But anyway, no, it's amazing how many people I see in the creative field who have cats but don't always have dogs. I find that interesting. I wonder if there's some sort of study we need to do about that.
Well, I would love a dog. Don't get me wrong, but I live on the fourth floor. So besides inside animals, I would not be able to. So I'm really happy with my cat. But yeah.
Beautiful animal.
Oh yeah, she's a lot of fun, and she's a beauty. But yeah, I grew up with shepherds all my life, and I would love a shepherd for my own. Yeah, they are. But yeah, I would have to have a garden and live on the ground floor, because I would not make them run down this many stairs. That would just not do it.
That wouldn't be very kind to them, no. So everybody get on board Life on Cora right now. So this man can get him a house in the country with a lot of places for a potential dog to run out. And Cindy disagrees with both of us, says birds rule.
They do too. Mom. Yeah.
I love birds. I really do. And Rick Bradley has 2 dogs, 1 cat, and a hermit crab. We didn't come here to talk about your crabs, Rick. But anyway, so
hold on, we have a little emergency with the cat because she's trying to open a cabinet with treats in it.
Oh yeah, we'll take up the screen here. I can pimp till you come back. No, animal, don't do that, Shelby. But anyway, folks, we'll get some of our thank yous done here. Oh, he's coming back. Here he is.
I was hearing bumping behind me, and I was like,
"Oh,
what the hell are you doing, Shelby?
Yeah,
Shelby, no,
behave."
Let me see if I can get her. There she is. So in that little cabinet over there. Yes, it's a mess. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, she's now turning around, going all innocent, of course. But she's
the cameras on her, and dozens, hundreds, thousands, billions of people are watching her at this very moment. I'm so sure. Yeah, I know, really. Just don't think about what we're talking. And time to bring out the catnip and watch the show. And Cindy Kemp says, behave like what?
Yo, not
Yeah.
like a cat, please. I want to
No,
sleep tonight.
behave badly. That's what we're mostly up to here.
Ooh.
But anyway, we are caught up with the questions and comments. I want to thank everybody for your
Yeah.
sensational interplay here. That you guys make this show so worthwhile. And mostly, I want to thank Mike, Jimmy, LORTIA de BRUIN. Thank you, Mike, Jimmy, for being here.
Yeah, with
Man. This has been a lot
pleasure.
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, seriously.
we'll have to have you. Well, maybe we can have you on the morning show sometime when more closer to a normal sleep, your normal REM sleep and stuff.
That would be appreciated.
We'll do that. We will do that thing. I promise you. I've had a blast, and I hope you enjoyed yourself too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's great. And Sarah says, when someone says behave, I ask, what have is? Okay. Thank you. And great fun had by all. Cindy Capoepp, CKOEPP.com for the best newsletter in the entire universe. Please check it out. Sign up on her page. Also check out her newest book on Amazon, Animal Eye. And Donna Carlene, interesting show, and love the precious cat. And Sarah speaks for us all here. Says you're awesome, Mike. You really are.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here. And we're going to put in this. Yes, I did get the right one this time. There we go. We're going to post this. And in the closing seconds of the show, I'm going to give you the spotlight once again. Talk about Life of Cora. Tell everybody how they can follow you, my friend.
Yes. So be sure to check out Life on Cora on Indiegogo right now. We are only 5 days left, and I'm not going to extend this campaign like you could on Indiegogo. We are going to fulfill really quickly. In August, you will already get your books. I will get the last pages by my colorist on the 12th. Like, that's when the entire comic is done. And yeah, you will get your comics real fast. You don't have to wait on everything. It's pretty much done. You can find me on Twitter at @and_ents. You can find me on Facebook as Mike Jimmy LORTIA de BRUIN. De BRUIN for you Americans.
Like me.
Yeah, it's fun to hear you guys say it like that. Because it literally means the brown, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There is a featured perk right now on the Indiegogo that is going to go until I wake up again later today, where you can get the entire series of Cora for nearly €10 off. So that's about $12.
Wow.
And you only pay €8 shipping because I have a very nice deal with Critical Blast.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that low shipping is not going to last forever. It's going to be in demand for a while, but that shipping is only going to last until the first shipment goes out. So for your Americans, after that, it's $30. So seriously, like you can get your you can get caught up on the series for only $40 right now with a featured perk.
Yeah, it's beautiful work, I've got to say. I totally endorse this. So everybody, please hop on that Indiegogo as soon as you can. Let's push this up way beyond the goal, which is already is. You're way past the goal right now. Let's get up to 20. I've got 2715 in US dollars currently, and I'd like to see you get to 3,000 before the next 5 days.
I would too.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah, no. Right now we're only 2 backers away from unlocking our next backer goal, and what I'm doing is, only 2. All physical backers are going to get a little bookmark with, on the front there is a creature, one of the main creatures from the series, and on the back I give some more some further explanation and world building about those creatures. And I'm going to do that for every single creature so far. So if we reach 45 backers, all those bookmarks will be unlocked. Every 5 backers, another one gets added to your package.
Very cool. That's 2 more people All right,
Yeah.
regardless of whatever the total comes out. So anyway, please check that out on Indiegogo right now. I'll understand if you leave. But anyway, Mike, Jimmy, thank you for being here, man. It's
With
been a
pleasure,
delight.
man. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And now I'm going to put you in the background here. Please stick around so I can say goodnight to you properly
Yeah, of
while we
course.
close out the show, and we'll be back real soon. And again, thank you to Mike. Make sure I get this right. Mike, Jimmy, LORTIA de BRUIN. So, listening. All right, he just gave me the thumbs up. Thank you. This probably means close enough, Brian. We know how you are. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Glad you liked it, Carl Wisman. Thank you. Thank everyone for your comments and your questions. And as always, we want to thank our ongoing sponsor, Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Check out their page on Facebook and also check out plasmafiregraphics.com. They do all kinds of great graphics for you, book covers, promotional stuff, book trailers, all at very affordable prices. Check them out. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. Also want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can directly support your favorite creators. And I'm going to be posting some new chapters of my first draft flash novel, The Terrors, coming soon. And we offer all kinds of cool stuff for your support. Please check us out at www.patreon.com. And also thank you to the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Please go to our Facebook page and give it a like. And also, please check out the shows we've got on there. We've got your entertainment covered 7 days a week with a brand new show premiering a week from tomorrow. The Truth Mongers with Ted Davies and Glenn B. Fleming. It's going to be pretty thought-provoking. I think you're going to dig it. And tomorrow we will be back with Never Mind the Furthermore. So please check our schedule and engrave it on your hearts. It's that important. And also, thank you again to everyone. Thank you to everyone who has bought Snow Ambition, my latest book from Ben Books. It's available now on Amazon for 99 cents. Go get it. And thank you to everyone who's going to be at the Imaginarium this coming Friday starting at noon and I wrote it down here, at the Holiday Inn, Louisville East, 1325 South Hurstbourne Parkway in Louisville, Kentucky. It's going to be 3 days of books and wonderful stuff there. A lot of your favorite Nevermorians are going to be there, like Kathy and Matthew Jackson, Molly Daniels, and also I will be across the way from Brian Rodman making his first convention appearance of the year, and I will be there with my books, a number of which you have not seen yet. I'll be on 4 different panels. There's also a lot of education and inspiration down there. So please check out the Imaginarium at entertheimaginarium.com. We're going to have online and in-person stuff, and I'm on 4 panels. You're going to dig it. Anyway, thank you again to everyone who has been on the show. Thank you again for your questions and your comments. Next week, who are we going to have? We're going to have Brian Rodman on here, my co-host from Comic Book Spectrum. We're going to see if he's still talking to me after spending 3 days in a locked room with me. That should be interesting. Anyway, folks, as always, thank you very much for being here, and we appreciate your ongoing support of the show. Like I said, next week is Brian Rodman, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning on Never Mind the Furthermore, where we have a special unboxing for you. So you're going to want to tune in for that. I know I'll be there. Anyway, folks, as always, thank you for being here. And as always, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Thank you for watching Clever Title Pen.